Hello, everybody. Welcome to Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's the Friday free-for-all. No more Football Friday live. Football is over, and that's it. So we pivot to, I guess, college basketball. A couple weeks from now, it'll be Major League Baseball, NBA on break, hockey on break. That's the way it is. So today, I don't know. I may be joined. I think Doug Upstone might pop in today. Matt Fargo as well. Anybody else might come in? We'll see. Who knows? It's not going to be like the other shows going an hour plus. It'll be a little shorter, especially with a short college basketball Friday night card. We do have some more marquee matchups for Saturday. And listen, if you want to talk about them, great. If not, we get on with our Friday lives. Twitter, give it a follow at gamblersworld.net, and they are our sponsor, right? So first of all, like, share, subscribe, notification bells on here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. Live show, free picks, NBA, college basketball all throughout the week. You don't miss out on those. But you want the top plays, the premium plays, you hit the gamblersworld.net. Me, dozen other guys, taking care of business there for you. Leaderboard, you see how everybody is doing. All sports tracked there. And, well, listen, I don't own the site, neither the guys on the site. So win or lose, always the truth. The record is right there. 3, 7, 38 packages guaranteed. Show you a profit or we credit you back and do it all over again. But I think if you jump on people on the leaderboards, you'll be all right. You'll make that profit over 3, 7, 30 days. Monday, holiday, a big President's Day sale. So 20% off any package. You want a day pass, 20% off. You want a weekly pass, 20% off. You want a monthly pass, individual, there it is, 20% off for President's Day on Monday. Why not get a weekly? You'll have some college hoops and then some NBA towards the end of the week. But do as you will. Do as you will. At the discounted price, it kind of gets you in the door and see how people are here. Because the free picks are the free picks. 26 and 28 with the NBA in the channel here doing the free pick video. It's not great. We have to do better. But if you go to leaderboard to see like Chip Chirimbes hitting 60-something% on 200 games or whatever the heck he's got going on, there you go. College basketball, 23 and 18 with the free picks. And that's pretty much in line because I'm number one in the money there. Brian Bittler, I believe, is number two, and we're on here Tuesdays and Wednesdays doing college basketball. So, those are going to be doing pretty well themselves. So the records are there. Enjoy them and get on board. Support the channel, myself, or any other cap you like. Go in there to say, hey, you know what? You're in here all the time. I'll get you for a week. I'll get you for a couple days. Let's go. Stop Gio's in the house, my guy. Good to see Gio here with the wave. Tim Earl, Stetson, money line, plus 120. Early game. Tim, I was like, Tim, I need some college baseball. And he's like, take Stetson tomorrow, plus 120. And there you go. It was a 10 a.m. first pitch from Tim. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Need more of those. Was there all that easy? Pretty soon we got spring training coming up, Tim. So there's always that to talk about, spring training baseball. I'm going to tweet this out on the Twitter from my personal. See if we get any more people in here in the chat. And real fast, I do it. I call it the little Marcos winner for my guy Marcos for these basketball games in their short little cards here. So I'll do a whole rundown here for Friday night. I do have one game up on the site, but you know what? I'm going to mention it. You're not even going to know. So if you buy it, you'll be like, oh, you said it. Well, everybody else doesn't know what it is. So you'll know that one is the strongest of the lot. Because I didn't really love today's card. 2 games kind of stuck out with me. One was the number I wanted. The other one was not. And, well, that's the way love goes as it is. So we'll start off here. Dartmouth and Columbia tonight. No real opinion there. Maybe I'll go under. Maybe lean Dartmouth. Again, you want to bet these games? You don't have to bet them because there's 20 college basketball games. I do like Mount St. Mary's as a little dog there versus Niagara. Fairfield, almost a play. Almost use these guys at 4.5. Would have liked a little more. Again, these lines could have moved. I'm not looking at them live. I'm looking at my printed out rotation numbers and what I filled in this morning from the numbers there. So I do like Fairfield in the points there. I like Sacred Heart at home as a little underdog. I would lean low shy here, but again, not strong at all. Siena and Marist. How about an under? It's such a low number. I'll go under the 130 there. Kent State, Ohio, give me the doggy there. Iona Ryder, it's doggy time. Green Bay, Doug Gottlieb, terrible head coach. You know what? Doggy at home, I'll take him. Pennsylvania, this game was like 18 last night. So last I saw was 15.5. again, you're going to give me the dogs. That, you find the trend here with me, folks. I'll leave the dogs here when I don't really love something. Because a smart man once told me, you go on a show and you give out an underdog, 2 out of 3 things work in your favor. They can win outright, they can cover, and everybody's remember you took a dog. So push comes to shove, I'm going to lean dog if I don't like a game. Cornell and Harvard, home dog. Woof, let's go. Princeton and Brown, another one. Home dogging it up. That's what it's going to be. Again, I've only played 1 game today. It's not that game. Merrimack and Manhattan, another home dog. Although, actually, I kind of like the under in this one a little better. If you want to get on the under here, 138, sure. I do like UCLA here. Money line. Just, I know they've had trouble on the road on the Big Ten country. Indiana, though, off a huge win, snuffing out Izzo's. They were ready to unfurl a banner for the Cat. Their coach was saying, I'm leaving. So it was kind of like a perfect storm there. I think they go back to being a pathetic squad here. Give me UCLA to win this one here. Basically a pick-em type game. Wright State, again, you're going to give me 6 points. I will take them. Nevada, San Jose. Now, this one stuck out last night for me because these lines looked at like a 3 spot for me. I'm like, you know what? That looks a little low. Now it's up to 6, 7 points even. San Jose, 18-5, covering the number. ATS, hottest team out there. 4-1 as a home play here against the number in Mountain West play, but I don't know. Something's a little doesn't pass the smell test, as they say. I think I saw they got a couple guys questionable tonight, which is why I think the line went from 5 to 5.5 to 6 and now to 7. So that would be a stay away spot for me. Although honestly, the number, it's luring me in. It's luring me in. Look what we got. We got a little Chipper coming into the show. It's like a Monday reunion here. Chip's got his nice little jacket on here.
Valentine's Day, bud.
Yeah, looking good, looking dapper, and I got Doug coming in here. Look at this, Doug's. It's a casual Friday for Doug.
It's casual Friday for sure. It's always casual Friday for Doug. Okay. The Chip, how are you?
Pretty good, Doug. Yourself?
Good. Hey, I have a question. Sean, you put a smile on my face today. I saw right away. And first of all, I want to congratulate you for your awesome day yesterday. You absolutely killed it yesterday. Was it 8-1? I think it was
8-1 yesterday.
Wow. 8-1 yesterday, and I was not quite, but I was almost the opposite. Okay, yesterday myself, not quite, but just I was close to that. But I what made me smile was I saw that today that you went 8-1, and for now, Chip, you can back me up on this. In the last, let's say 3 weeks or so, I mean, Sean is having a fantastic, maybe the best year in college basketball ever, ? I don't know. You tell me. But, I mean, you've been number one, okay, almost all season. And he has attributed part of it to the fact that he has reduced the number of plays, okay, because he doesn't put out, more than 4 or 5 plays pretty much any day now, never goes over that number, has tried to be more disciplined. And so, and we're literally, the 3 of us were talking about that yesterday. And today I happened to see there was 9 plays from Sean. Now he hit 8 of them. There's no disputing the authenticity of that and how well he did. But Sean, please explain.
So, like we're talking, I said, I get these numbers and they got to kind of fit my little parameters, right? And I think I mentioned, did I say to you guys, I got 33 for Saturday, right? We were talking about it. And last night's game, if you look at them, a lot of dogs. Look at this. The mask on to cover up for my plays.
This is how I'm going to do the show.
There was a few that we talked about. What was it? What was the other game I said? Brian or some. There's a couple ones that were nearby because you said some. Maybe it was Merrimack. I forgot what game you had brought up. Oh, but I don't remember. There's some like today. There's one game, Doug. I got one game today.
Yeah, me too.
The day before I went 6-2, then a 5-3 day. Monday, again, weird games. I was talking about I went 3-1 with those Maryland Eastern Shores and Southeast Louisiana. And tomorrow I'm looking at that. That doesn't include a top 25 game in my breakup there. Some days, and that's 8's a lot. But I was like, at this point, if I go the other day I went 4-6. If I'm gonna have a day like that, because they're gonna come, which is why it's like I can't do that because hitting 60%, that's rare air, man. That's there's going to be a 2-7 day or something, or a 1-9. It could be an 0-10. You know, you get a couple, bad breaks. We've talked about them. So I kind of like I was saying yesterday, I want to reel them in a little bit, but when they fit just so perfectly, I have to grab them.
Right. No. I'm doing is just giving you some garbage.
Oh yeah, I know. Because I keep saying, I got a limit, and it's
Yeah, but 9-1, Doug.
Oh, hey, there is
there.
no arguing with the results. That's for sure. I mean, he could have done 14 probably and went 13-1 yesterday. So that's how it goes. So
yeah, you're right.
No, but again, so when I do these games, there's the ones that they should be just automatic kind of plays. But like I was talking about how the conferences have moved into mainstream and every game is listed every day.
Right.
Where that wasn't the case, not even just 5 years. Forget about 10 years ago. 5 years ago, there were still added games. Like they'd come in, these games would come in.
They add more every year. Every season, they add more teams.
So I have to kind of adjust. Like NJIT, like it's one where it kind of fits the parameter. But on the same flight, Brian is actually like a top 150, 160 kind of team in ratings. So are they out of the loop? Like it's not, and that wouldn't have been a cover yesterday. So I have to adjust them, and I kind of stick to so I had a lot of OVC yesterday. Tennessee Tech, Tennessee Martin, like those kind of teams.
Sure.
And Northern Arizona was a loser. But those kind of middle of the road OVC kind of.
They pay you just as much to win on that game, don't they, Sean? They pay you just as much, right?
Yeah, but when it comes to power rating them, I think I could find that better than when I had to go to the NEC and the MEAC and Southland and SWAC. Now I went the other day, I was 3-1 in the Southland, but those, I can't, Southern laying. What's Southern laying tomorrow?
I never heard of these conferences.
Points to Prairie View. I want to take Prairie View. It should fit into that. That was what it's this. This system was built to take Prairie View getting 15 points. I don't know if I could take them 15 points tomorrow. San Diego yesterday, I didn't use it. They're terrible. They'd lost 12 in a row, 15 in a row. They're 1-17 or getting 8. I'm this ought to be a huge play taking San Diego plus the 8. They ended up covering. I think they lost by 6 or something. There's 2 San Diegos. They were a dog.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just pull off I can't. There's a team is so bad, I just can't get involved in it. Fairly ridiculous yesterday. I think it was getting 10 or something from LIU. I don't even. There's so many. I got to cross them off.
Did you say LIU?
LIU, the Sharks.
Do you know who their famous coach was? They won the national championship once. Claire B was the name of their coach.
Oh, okay. Before he went to Kansas, right?
Yeah, he was he wrote a book on the fundamentals of basketball.
Right.
I had it as a child. I never read it, of course, if you've seen my game.
Isn't it Strickland? Rod Strickland's a coach now, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the old guys back.
I saw Greg Paulus is coaching one of these. I think today. One of the games today.
He's in the MAC. Yeah, Rod Strickland's over at LIU.
Okay.
How about Doug Gottlieb? He's at Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Doing a fine job too.
What are they? 2-19? What are they?
Yeah, you're right around there. Yes. Yeah. And but his radio show is still on, so
yeah, well,
he'll be back to that real soon.
That's pretty self-serving. I heard him yesterday. That's why he was in my head.
The fact that he was at the Super Bowl. You're a coach of a D1 team, fellow. What are you doing?
Well, that's the other part of his job, though. That's why he had to be there. Yeah. So it's just, it clearly didn't work out. And the next year, their nickname will be appropriate because they're the Phoenix. So it will be the Rise of the Phoenix next year if he's not there.
Oh, goodness.
Well, I don't know if they're going to rise up. I mean,
they can't wait till summertime.
You wait till summertime. The heat will rise in Arizona for sure.
I actually I like Green Bay today plus the points.
Green Bay.
Well, that makes
Packers aren't playing for another 6 months.
We're taking the Gottliebs. Yep. Yeah, Paulus coached last night. No, today he's on Niagara. Right?
Okay. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay, got it.
The Purple Aces. This guy.
Yeah, Calvin Murphy.
Yep. So what game you want to talk about?
So, I mean, these games, I ran them through. We have one marquee game tonight with Indiana and UCLA.
Yeah.
Do you guys got any thoughts on that? I mean, do you got any thoughts on the Friday card? I went through them all. I got
There's not
one.
much out there.
I got one play tonight. That's just one, and so have that. But that's it. Yeah, there's and the UCLA Indiana game. I literally have no opinion on the game.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I used it, Doug.
Well, there you go.
It was the only game out there that I could see. I mean, I don't do what Sean does. He goes through all of them, and I just usually concentrate on the main conferences and top 25 games, Sean. And so this one measures up. I mean, UCLA comes in. They had lost 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Then now they've won 7 and had a little. And the other side, who was Indiana lost 5 in a row and finally beat Michigan State.
Yep.
Normally you'd expect a little letdown coming out of Indiana here, but it should be tough. Woodson's going to retire at the end of the season. He spent 4 years at Indiana, and I guess they weren't all that. How we say, he didn't do as good as Bobby Knight did. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, that Indiana job is so overrated at this point.
Yeah.
It's much like Nebraska football. It's just another job. It's not what it used to be, in terms of what people think of it and stuff like that. The one thing just a little plug here for Doug Upstone Sports Picks on YouTube. I did a Ivy League game today. Okay. Now I swore off Ivy League basketball. I think it was 3 years ago, because I went like probably 6 years and probably hit 30%. Okay, of Ivy League basketball, especially on Friday nights. So I've done, but there was nothing to choose. Okay, but I have to admit now, going back though, not so much basketball, but I miss doing. This goes back years. Miss doing Yale, the Ivy League football when it was part of the card. Okay, the normal card. I miss those days. Okay, that was always kind of fun, and I just I don't know. There was something romantic about it to me that I always enjoyed.
Doug, I once went to a Yale game playing Princeton. We had a bet on it, and we were in New Haven. And I had a buddy of mine who, of course, we got beat because we took Yale and Princeton was so much better. And my buddy was a pretty good basketball player, and he turns to me and he says, "It just goes to show you should never bet on a team you can play for." So, so we went home saying that's the end of Yale, because Princeton had those good. Pete Carroll was there. They had a great team. Not Pete Carroll. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Pete Carell.
Pete Carell.
Yes.
Carroll. Wow.
Yep. So
big win over Georgetown, right?
So what do you guys think about Auburn and Alabama?
Ooh. Wait, hold on. This guy the ninja wants to come and talk Crown Princeton. You're talking Ivy League. What do you got here in this big game? You got a 4-point favor in Princeton.
I don't have anything. I can tell you that. So
where's the game? Where's the game, Sean?
It's in Brown.
Princeton and Brown are playing?
Yes.
Yeah. 4-point fave for Princeton. I got to take the home dog. Ninja knows. I'm just going to say the home. You give me points at home, I'll take a home dog. I got it. Although I'm not, I should say I got to take it because I'm not taking it. I didn't bet any Ivy League tonight.
Oh, Sean. So you're a snob on the Ivy League, but you can play Mississippi Valley, Prairie State, ANU.
Yes. The Ivy. A lot of times they don't fit the parameters,
right?
Because I'm looking for a big home fave, and usually you don't see big 7 to 10 point favorites out of the Ivy, no matter where they play.
Well, it used to be when you had Penn playing, when Penn was live, because they would always be in the NCAA, and
they were good.
Robert Morris
is Amaker still with them? What happened to that team? They used to be good.
Yeah, well, that's why Amaker never got the Duke job.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, plain and simple. They were good for a while, and now they're just another team. You mentioned big spreads. I think Yale is 17.5 today against Cornell.
Against Penn. It's come down.
Penn, sorry.
Against Penn?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 17.5. I thought it was going to go to 18. The last I looked, it was 15.5.
It used to be Penn and Princeton every year be battling it out to the last game of the season.
Yeah. But the big red have come on with Cornell. So they're the team of. I think they've gone to the tournament 2 of the last 3 years or something like that.
Big red.
I recall
5-point favorite road here against Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard.
So we do have some matchups tomorrow. Couple good ones. What are we gonna do? We could start right off the top game. Auburn and Alabama. 1-2. The SEC. I mean, these two, Florida and Tennessee, what do you got? 4 of the top 5 teams in the country? It's
They're
crazy.
good. They beat each other up, I would imagine, before the year's over.
You're going to get your splits. If some team comes out of this SEC, and I got to pull up the conference records here. If you get a team out of here that has less than probably 4 losses heading into the NCAA tournament or 5 losses, I'd be totally shocked. Right? I mean, these guys, like you talk about like the football teams, like, oh, they beat up on each other. That's why everybody's got to get into bowl games and power rankings, all this. But the basketball, I mean, 22-2, 21-3, 21-3 between Auburn, Alabama, Florida. And I think the losses are all probably to each other there. No, Florida lost to Vanderbilt, I think.
Florida,
right? They lost to Vanderbilt.
I think this is obviously it's an arguable point. And of course, there was last year with the Big 12. But I think this is the best basketball league I've ever seen. Okay, in college basketball. I mean, top to bottom. I mean, with everybody, and the skill level is even more so. I mean, the number of NBA players that are in the SEC right now, and I think I've said here before, and that is directly attributed to the fact that why the ACC has fallen off is that the players that used to go to the ACC and the SEC was, they'd get their 3 or 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. That's just flipped now. All these players go to the SEC instead, and the ACC is the conference that suffers because of it. Because it does. I mean, there's been no repercussions to the Big Ten. There's no more Pac-12, but they got their players as they did. So it's just odd how that's occurred. But I mean, when I watch games, I love watching their games, and I can't wait for their conference tournament this year. I mean, the SEC conference tournament, oh my goodness. I mean, that'll be literally every game will be an outstanding game to watch.
Well, I don't like what's going on out there. It's like the Big Ten is 18 teams and the Southeast Conference is 18 teams. But the way they're scheduling now, it used to be you'd have a different conference on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you'd be able to discern. Now there's I don't want to say a shitload of games, so I won't say that. On one day, on Wednesday, and there may be 12 games you may have a side on, and you can only use 3 or 5, Sean. But those plays you might be using on another day, but you can't use them all on the same day because that's the way the schedule is bunched nowadays.
Right.
And sometimes you're looking at them, you're seeing 6, 7 matchups that are all premier games, at least in your head. And you're not going to be able to use them. And the next day, I have Long Beach State against, Santa Clara, and that's my best option. Yeah. So I'm not happy with the way the schedules are going, and that the conferences are now, instead of having those individual days where the Pac-12 would play, and then we get the SEC, and we'd have the Big Ten. Now they're all bunched up, and too many games on the same day.
Yeah.
Long Beach did the cover last night, by the way. They did cover in Hawaii, Long Beach.
Okay.
11-point dogs got it done.
But I'm looking for this game. I have no idea what the number's going to be on the article that I have at Gamblers World. I just use KenPom, and it comes how KenPom it came out to Auburn -3.5.
Whoa!
Now I'm just saying KenPom, just going with that. And how I came to that is using the home team getting 3 points. Okay, so that's just using a standard fare. And so that's what KenPom comes out as Auburn 3.5 at Alabama. Where
do you look for that for there? Because I got KenPom on now. It's got them 88, 87.
I'm just using the standard rating.
Yeah. Now, are you saying that they would make on a neutral site? They'd make Auburn 6.5?
Yes.
Wow.
If you look at their plus number, I want to say, is it plus 34 for Auburn? Are you looking at it, Sean?
Well, I got the fan match on where he does the prediction, and he's got Auburn winning 88-87.
Okay. I just was looking at the standard ratings on his homepage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I used. And so with that, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be the number, but I'm just going, with that. But even so, I think the difference now, Braum, the center, he's not, since he came back from his ankle injury, he just hasn't been as dominant as he was earlier. And I think that's so if if Alabama's getting points, and if they're getting more than 2, I mean, I would be inclined right now to consider Alabama at home to get the job done. And there's a little love here for me in this game, because I distinctly remember, and I'll bring up a name that Chip might remember. The very first bet I ever made in college basketball was Auburn and Alabama, and it was on a Thursday night. And Alabama was favored by 3 at home against them. They were up 20, I think it was 20 or 22 points. And with 40 seconds, they were up 2. Okay. They came back to win by 4. And I remember after the game thinking, what a dumb idiot I am to start this with college basketball betting, because this is not worth the 40 minutes of aggravation I just went through, thinking I had the game won, thinking I had the game lost. So it was 40 years ago that I made that bet. And a name for the past here, Chip, Buck Johnson for Alabama. Buck Johnson played in the NBA for about 7 years. I think mostly Houston, as I recall, but kind of a shooting forward, power forward type guy like that. So
Buck Johnson sounds like he belongs in Houston.
Right.
He really does.
Yes. So anyway, so yeah, so my lean right now, I would lean with Alabama on that.
DraftKings official line 1.5, Alabama -1.5, total 172.5.
Yeah, then I would.
That's better.
Then I would pass.
So we're starting to get some lines coming up here. You got to
Don't you
love
think
it.
that's going to be a high-scoring game between these two? I mean,
You
they
think
put
so?
the ball in the basket. They're great, both great shooting teams.
172.
Yep.
We have a couple other games we got coming up here. A&M is 8.5, 139.5 versus Arkansas. They are home versus Arkansas. Florida State versus Clemson. Clemson 23 in the AP -4.5, total of 143.5 at Florida State.
How about what's going on in Florida State? They're, not only is their football team in total disarray, but the basketball program is going down the toilet as well.
Yeah, they played better of late, but the
coach is being sued.
Yeah, right. Well, then
He's leaving, right? He's out.
He's leaving.
Promise money not delivered.
Yeah. Well, so they say they were promised money. Maybe they're just looking for it. Yeah.
I mean, I tend to believe that's what happened.
Well, I think it was probably a little nefarious, but at that time, was the money allowed? This isn't recent. This is from,
no, this was recent. No, this was actually last year.
Oh, okay. I thought this was from the past, and I'm saying to myself, well, how can they be going after illegal money? Because at that time it wasn't legal. So
no,
all right,
100% legal, and and
there were 2 brothers involved.
What's that?
I said there were 2 brothers involved because 2 of those guys had the same name.
That I don't know. I just remember reading about it. It was a booster that was involved. It was passed along as accurate information to the players and to the team, and the coach, to whatever degree of his knowledge of this, I don't know. So, but yeah,
I wonder what happened. I mean, why didn't it come up with the money? I mean,
well, it's not the first one.
We had it in Vegas. We had it out here at the quarterback in Vegas.
I was going to talk about the quarterback. Hey, where's my money? The quarterback, yeah.
Yep. So it's not the first nor the last time that'll happen.
How'd that work out for him? He hasn't got an offer.
Don't you think they'd want the money up front?
What else you got, Sean?
How does that? Well, again, we talked about them getting the money anyway, and it better be tied into some kind of, you got to play bowl games or X amount of games for basketball. They got to do something.
No one on Virginia Tech signed one of those for the football bowl game. That's for sure.
Well, I would, my personal opinion, especially with the way things are now, I would like to have it be not unlike a lot of different contracts where you get a signing bonus, okay, and then the rest is based on performance.
Subjective.
Well, it is subjective, but I mean, if that's the real world, I mean, you perform well.
But all these contracts are guaranteed for all these sports all the time. I mean, where do you have to perform? Maybe football, because they can actually cut you.
Right.
Baseball, you're guaranteed. Basketball, forget about it. I mean, look at Ben Simmons. What's he been doing for 10 years?
Collecting checks.
Guy's loaded. That guy. Now he's in the Clippers.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he
The
going to
Nets
give him
cut
any
him.
playing time? He's
I
afraid to
thought for
shoot.
sure when because he had all his off the field. They're not even off the field, like in his head issues there with Philly. I can't shoot. He went to New Jersey or Brooklyn. That they didn't kind of be like, you know what? We're going to insurance. You got a disability. Cut some kind of deal. Give him half his contract. Like you can't be making $45 million and get a quarter. Like, yeah, I'm scared to shoot the ball.
It's amazing to me. I mean,
he had a nice game the other day. I think he went like 12, 8, and 8. Nice stat filler. You know, he's filling up the sheet out there. But
you know, they know if he's playing late in the game when it's under pressure, if they foul him, he's going to go 1 for 11 from the free throw line, and that's upping his.
Think about this guy. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was like the number 1 pick in the draft, right?
I'm not sure that.
He couldn't even. He was he's a top whatever pick he was.
Top 3, I think.
He couldn't get LSU into the NCAA tournament. How bad is that? I mean, they're talking about putting 13 teams in right now from the SEC, right? They're going to put Texas in, who is 4-8 in conference play and 15-10. This guy, like, they could very well be 18-13, and that guy couldn't get it in as a top player. Come on.
What do you got for Houston, Arizona? Is that up yet?
Houston, Arizona is up. The Cougars -1.5, total 137.5 in Arizona.
Is that Aaron? Who's officiating that
Arizona,
game?
Houston favored.
They're only 1.5. Now, if you said 3.5 to me on that game, as opposed to the Alabama Auburn game, I would have understood it. But it seems like they had the numbers transposed. That this one would be 3.5. I could accept.
Well, this is basically almost the same number as the the Alabama game. Just flipped to the road here.
I think this Houston team is good. I really do.
Yeah, no, I'm a little concerned though. Watching Houston is that, Arizona is not as good as what they've been the last several years, and especially inside. But the one thing that I've noticed with Houston of late, especially against the spread, 1-3 and 4-4. Okay, in their last group of games, and what teams are doing, they're breaking them down out on the perimeter more, and they're getting the ball to the basket a lot more than they did earlier in the season. And so I think that's kind of the key to this game. If Arizona can get to the rim and score, near the rim, I think they can. I think there's an upset possibility of Houston here. They're not impregnable anymore.
That number certainly makes it live for sure. Makes Arizona live.
I would, looking at the numbers, I would probably look at the under here. If Houston's going to bring defense, and you look at them on the road, 69-59 at Colorado, 63-49 West Virginia. I mean, Kansas game was an outlier, 92-86. 69-68 UCF. I mean, low scoring. Although Kansas State, they put up 87, but only allowed 57. So I don't know. I look at the under before I take a side there. Because where's the respect for Arizona, like you said? I mean, these guys, 11. They finally took a loss here. They were, I think, 11-1 in conference play before Kansas State upended them. And good for Kansas State. Like I thought, you're off a big win over Kansas. You'd have a drop off. You still won. I mean, they went on the road and beat Iowa State by 15 points as a 15-point underdog.
Yeah.
So no shame again. We talk about losing on the road in these conferences. It happens. It's not shocking. Not shocking. St. John's lost. They were a 2-point favorite. They lost by 2. That's not a bad loss. That's college basketball, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's these teams. Alabama, Auburn, these guys are going to lose a game or 2 on the road. That's just the way it is. But this one here, I think I might be looking at an under in this 137.
I think St. John's will roll on Sunday against Creighton. I know there's no number on it, but I think they'll roll. Just that defense. I mean, it's the closest thing that I can recall to the old Jerry Tarkanian amoeba defense. Okay, where you had a bunch of guys that were basically, 6'6" to 6'8", had wingspans of 7 feet, across the board, and super quick, super fast.
Stacey Augman,
among others. Yep, Larry Johnson.
Man.
Let's see, there's another name not coming to me, but anyway,
Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt. They were good.
Anderson Hunt. Who I was thinking. Anyway, so I think they'll be in good shape. And Creighton, Creighton's really a great home favorite, even though they just lost their last game. But I just don't think there's enough quickness there for them to stay in the game, unless they shoot lights out.
Early line looking here, probably about a 5.5, 6 I'm seeing for St. John's.
St. John's favorite on the road, is this?
No, it's at home.
This is at home.
Oh, it's at home. Okay.
That's at MSG. MSG.
There's one of these teams, I have to look it up, that St. John's has always struggled with. I don't know if it's Creighton or Xavier, one of these obscure clubs. I know it's not Cincinnati because they never beat anybody.
So we got other kind of premier kind of games here. Kentucky is 15th in the nation. They are catching 1.5 total 160 at Texas. As I mentioned, Texas is 15-10, kind of an up and down year for them. But I look at that one. I want to take Texas in that spot.
Kentucky was just a small dog, and they beat someone outright.
Tennessee.
Yeah, that was one of my few winners Saturday. But now they're coming up, and it's 1.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have to ponder this one.
Texas is here. We go. Texas has dropped 3 in a row, 4 or 5. They lost by 23 at Alabama, 10 at Vanderbilt, 8 at home versus Arkansas. They were a 7-point favorite in that one.
What's the game they won?
I had Texas Saturday. Got killed by Alabama.
Alabama crushed them. I said that about 103-80.
Yeah.
What's the game that Texas won though?
The big game they won. I guess they beat A&M by a point. I guess that's a big win.
Who they beat by a point?
Texas A&M.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because in that game they were down 15 the whole game. They were down 15 the whole game, so that should have been a loss too. I mean, so Texas is not a good team right now.
Yeah, they lost by 20 at A&M the first time they played.
Yes.
They lost. Tennessee came in after Tennessee got rolled by Florida, and Tennessee beat them 74-70. They lost to Auburn by 5. Again, at home, you're a 10-point dog. That's fine. I'll take it as a 10-point dog at home. I mean, it's tough to win on the road. Win by 11 is tougher. Where is their marquee win? Who'd they beat? I'm trying to – Syracuse?
It's like a football game.
They've been very disappointing the whole year.
They don't have one. They lost to Connecticut at home. New Mexico State they won. I mean, Mexico State's the whack, I guess, we're looking at. I mean, where's the big win for them? They beat Oklahoma, who's bad. They beat Missouri. I guess Missouri's a good one, but you beat them at home. You're a 2-point favorite. You're a 2-point favorite over Missouri. How is Kentucky better than Missouri?
Yes.
I'd say no.
No.
What?
I mean, I don't think they're. They're saying Missouri's better.
It's not demonstratively better, but I think Missouri's better than Kentucky overall, defensively for sure. And I think there's enough offense there, especially in an up and down game.
Nobody. I guess the Missouri is their best win because Missouri's 7-4 in conference and Kentucky's 6-5.
Right. So, you got a number on Mississippi State, Mississippi?
I sure do. 5.5. Ole Miss favored. 5.5 total. 146.
Give me the Rebels. Give me the Rebels. Revenge lost in overtime 3 weeks ago. Mississippi State was trailing the whole, or Mississippi was leading, I think. Or no, Mississippi State was leading the whole game, gave it up late. Mississippi tied them. Then, so I think Rebels at home with revenge, the good spot for them.
Bulldogs, did they get pounded last time out? Did they get beat, I think?
I think they
Mississippi State on Saturday.
Yeah, I think they got beat. I don't remember.
We have 81-68 loser at Florida.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to come up and give a game in that day in that spot. I really did.
Yep. They were favored. They were favored at home, and they lost.
So depending how do they react going on the road playing a rival? I mean,
who they just beat? Well, not just beat, but last month. 3 straight wins.
Maybe that's why their focus wasn't good against the Gators.
Mississippi beat Kentucky by 14. There's a 10-point loss at home to Auburn. There's a Texas win. They lost to A&M here by 1 at home. I mean, decent wins at home, not bad.
With 18 teams and they're playing each other so many times. I mean, we're talking about having a sample size, and we certainly have one here. And I think it's kind of tough now that they're playing so many good teams and they have bad outings and good outings, and looking for consistency is pretty difficult to come up with right now. I mean, other than Auburn and Alabama, and they've been handed their lunch too once in a while. So,
hey Doug, so you mentioned you thought Mizzou was better than Kentucky. They are a 1.5 point favorite on the road against Georgia.
Okay.
They are 2-4 on the road this season, so they have lost.
so this is Bulldogs and Bulldogs.
Tigers and Bulldogs.
Oh,
Missouri Tigers.
Oh, Missouri Tigers.
Missouri. Yeah, we're off Mississippi here. Yeah, Missouri game.
I thought we were Mississippi State, and that's who they're playing.
Yeah. I just moved off that because we were just talking about Georgia, Kentucky. So I was like, or Kentucky and Mizzou. So I figured I flipped to this game real fast. Do you like Georgia here as a home dog, or do you think Missouri should take care of business?
I'm going to go with was it Casey Stingleism? Yes. Georgia plays good enough to lose.
Yep, they just
Georgia plays good enough to lose.
So yes,
that's
Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra. Yes,
Yogi Berra. I was going to say.
So I think that's close game, but Mizzou comes out on top.
Alabama
had a great one.
Home.
Casey had a great one when they had a 20-year-old catcher named Greg Goosen in spring training, and he was talking about the Mets, how good they were, and he said, "We've got this young kid, Greg Goosen. He's 20 years old. In 10 years, he's got a chance to be 30."
Yep.
Right on the nose. Hit the nail on the head.
I remember that well.
Anthony Rendon on a performance contract. This poor guy, great year in the Nationals, wins a World Series, signs a big contract, and I think he's played like 6 more games than me in the last 4 years in the majors.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck happened to this guy? And then he's like, well, whatever. I think what was his comment like?
Was he with the Angels?
Yeah,
not playing with the Angels, right?
Yeah. Well, his comment is that his priority is his family. Baseball comes baseball comes third after his family and God and stuff, which is exactly what every Angels fan wants to hear.
Isn't he fourth following Mike Trout's lead in not playing?
Yeah, well, just and just to show you how bad the Angels actually are. And by the way, I think that I think their win total is 71.5. And under, if you can get the under now, I'd take it. But to show you
70 and a half of FanDuel.
Okay, it already went down. Okay, so that tells you everything you need to know right there. But their star pickup, free agent pickup, Kelsey, the reliever. What is he? 40 now? Okay.
They picked up a whole lot of spare parts.
Yes.
They picked up a lot of veterans you think would be like a team tinkering for like World Series. You want a professional bat. You want like a nice veteran kind of arm in the bullpen or something. That's who they picked up. Who they picked up this offseason.
Chip will remember. They're much like the team that went to the Super Bowl in the 70s from Washington, the Over the Hill gang.
Yeah. The Angels. I don't know. That's a sorry state there. It really is.
That owner needs to cut loose of that team and get somebody in there that wants to win, because
who they pick up?
Doesn't know how to win.
Kikuchi, right?
Yep.
I just started thinking of Ohtani. They're making so much crazy about Ohtani. Do you know that Babe Ruth won 23 games and led the league in home runs the same year? Think about that. Of course, he only had like 26 homers, but at the time, he led the league with 11 homers as a pitcher.
It's a different time, though, back then.
Yeah, but I mean, he still was only pitching every 4th day, and he had the next guy was 6 in home runs in the dead ball era. But he led with 11 home runs.
Who had 6? Who had the 6?
Come on, Chip. You don't know who had the 6? God, you got to be prepared for that on the show.
Home Run Baker had it. It wasn't Fred Merkle because he missed second base.
Okay. Who's on first?
I mean, this team, Travis Denard, they picked up. What a mess.
It's an owner that likes to collect things that look valuable but aren't.
Shiny, very shiny.
Oh, Jose Quintana they signed too.
Yeah, he's on top of his game. Yep. He's a
nice innings kind of guy.
one of
But again,
the
like
rotation guy.
Jose Quintana is a guy. The Dodgers, the Yankees, anybody who wants a pitcher should be going after. Not the Angels. Like that's a guy you put in there. He's going to pitch 150 innings. Keep you in a game.
Yeah.
Like the Angels are picking up guys like they're, Kikuchi again. Travis Denard, a nice backup catcher. You're grabbing guys that playoff teams are getting to fill bench roles. What is this team doing? Kyle Hendricks. There's another one, Kyle Hendricks.
They're like a softball team that plays for beer games,
when you're starting 5 pitchers whoever they happen to be, and the best one is a number 4 starter, literally on any other team, you're probably in trouble.
What do you think about the A's playing in Sacramento in a minor league park? Them and Tampa too. Tampa's in a minor league park too this year.
Yes, Athletics. You mean? That's the official name, by the way. The Athletics, not even Sacramento, because that's the name of the minor league team, the Sacramento Athletics, or are they the Sacramento Bees? Now I could be wrong.
Bees.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, because the A's. Well, in this case, the Bees might be better than the A's. Although
they're moving to Las Vegas. Why didn't they come here? I mean, we got a beautiful park. We got 2 beautiful parks.
I don't know if they're going to Las Vegas.
You know why? Because
John
Fisher's cheap. That's why. That's why they didn't come, because he owns the park in Sacramento. So 2 years of rent free. So that's why he did it. And I can't wait. You thought it was hot in I think it's hot in Texas in August. Okay, try Sacramento in July and August.
Yeah, it's a valley.
Yes. So
is it hot there? I thought that's North California. It'll be a little cooler.
Yeah, but
not there. No, it is
hot. I've been there. Believe me.
It's regularly 100 most of the summer there, and so they have, and they're also, by the way, the field is also AstroTurf. Just thought I'd mention that for a little extra heat. So
play a little bit at night.
Well, they paid Sevi. They paid Severino over there.
Yeah,
that's sad. Okay. He left the mess.
So his payroll went from 38 to 44. Is that what it happened for them?
Well, they're saying he only did that because he had to get to like a certain amount spent because they were really getting on him.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, the guy's a huge phony. He just collects the TV money, and that's it. And so,
I know, because they're like a trendy pick after last year, right? You got Rooker, you got a bunch of young guys look like they could be something. I don't know, man. I think they're going to come in there. How the pitcher's going to respond? At least, anybody coming in could maybe win a game or two. They got to play their 82 games in that park. That could be like Colorado. They could have like Colorado old school Rocky ERAs.
Yeah. That's another owner that doesn't care about winning. Speaking of that,
we got to get rid of teams. I wish they could get rid of some teams. Chop 6 of them right off the bat. Get rid of them.
Yeah. Well, just either that or just you can have a salary cap and have a salary minimum. That's all. So at least if they're putting the effort in, like with NFL, you have to spend a certain amount of money.
I don't want a cap. I don't think cap. It needs a floor. You can't have one team like we're not paying because hey, we'll have the $30 million payroll because the Dodgers and the rest of the top guys are going to give us $45 million in pity money.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I say. High and low. It should be a minimum that you have to spend every year.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be a minimum, whether it's the 100 million or they'll never go to like 150 because that's too close to 200. But 100 million, how aren't you spending 100 million?
Yeah, that doesn't seem real hard to do. Because
not when starting pitchers get $30 million,
right?
No, it should not be hard to get to $100 million.
Your reserves are getting $3-4 million.
But when you think about like the star player, a frontline guy is going to get 25 or 30 million, any hitter or pitcher. Right. So that's 60 million. You can fill out a roster with $40 million. It's a 40-man roster just based on simple math. And I'm no mathematician. If I got 2 guys making 60 and I got 38 other guys making $1 million, I'm this close to being at the threshold.
I think baseball's 25 men.
26 actually.
Yeah, but no, but you have your 40-man. I'm talking about the major league roster is 40 players.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I clarify that. Yes, it is did they expand it to 26? I thought they expanded it, right?
I think it's 26, and then they added 27 for doubleheaders.
Yeah,
and when do they go to 40 and when starting September?
That's September.
1st?
September goes 40 man. But I mean, you have like your major league who you have on whatever. It's a 40-man, technically a roster, although your active list is what's all the time. But
Yeah.
To transfer guys back and forth, they have to be on the 40-man active roster. That's why guys all of a sudden like, oh, we're going to purchase a contract because you're purchasing this to put it on. Now you're a major leaguer.
Right. And let's see here. Today's Friday. Sean, in particular for you, 9 days, I'll be at the Cubs and the Rangers game here in the desert. So
nice.
So
I think the Rangers bounce back to win the West again this year.
I have no opinion yet.
Is David Cohn healthy?
Was he pitched for the Rangers?
Yeah, he sat on the bench and got a ring.
Yeah, and don't forget, John Rocker got in a fight with, or an alleged fight with Mahomes' dad.
They're boxing next. They're boxing in April at Rough and Rowdy.
Okay, so
he is yoked out, John Rocker, man. He looks.
That's why there was a lot of rumors it was staged. So that's why it was staged. So that proves it right there. I did not know that. Yeah. But there was. I read all the rumors. I saw the video, and the video looked very contrived. And
it was weird. Like he comes over, like he saw him, and then he's.
Well, he saunters over, like, but he saunters over like he expect. I mean, I know it's John Rocker. So you get what you get with him, but. I don't know. So, gentlemen, have yourself a weekend. What a great Friday, because there was only college basketball the rest of the day. Just perfect, right? No,
I thought you were saying what a Friday, because we talked college basketball for 5 minutes because there was a terrible Friday schedule, and then we jump into some Major League Baseball because
with you that's a foregone conclusion. So that's not even that would be. I'd like to get the odds on that. Okay, what are the odds of Sean bringing up in any show that he does bring up baseball? I'm going to go with 1.5 to 1.
Yes, that's it. I'd be into we'll probably have to 260.
You go 1 to 5 like a horse.
I'd do it every day if I could.
So, all right, take care, guys. Adios.
Take it easy, Doug. That was Doug Upstone, folks. Be sure to check out Doug. On Fridays, he puts out his I think Thursday is the Shoot the Rock for NBA, and he's got a college one also on Friday for the games coming the weekend on gamblesworld.net. Nice little newsletter there. Free picks to give you some betting insight. And I believe we'll be doing something with baseball with Doug going forward. We got some baseball coming up in April, so maybe we'll do some kind of Monday, Friday kind of preview, recapping. Who knows? It's baseball. What else is there going to be? There'll be nothing else in April, folks. What are you talking about? We got NBA. I get it, but it'll be baseball time. Real fast, gamblesworld.net. We got the 20% off special coming in on Monday. You don't want to miss that. Good time if you haven't got a premium package. Wet the beak, as they say. 20% off any of the package. Save you a little money. We'll make you a little bit of money. That's how we're doing the things. Mr. NBA with me here. I guess I'm Mr. College Hoops right now. We're both at the top of the board there. But getting back to some of these games tomorrow, did anything else kind of pique your interest there?
Well, to tell you the truth, I do a lot of heavy loading on Friday nights. With the numbers. I haven't even looked at them really for Sunday. When for Saturday, and you were giving them to me here, and you were getting my first impression.
Yeah, it's early. It's what we're closing on 2:00. A lot of the top 25 matchups are coming out. Another 2 hours, we're going to get bits and pieces. Time, they kind of drop them in time order, and then later on tonight, probably 7 or 8, we'll get the full, the old how you do, all the extra games and all that good stuff. But yeah, I kind of look at them because you have to start it. There's so many games, right? So you have to, like you say, you're focused. It's gonna be like you're gonna just here comes the top 25. I'm gonna stick here.
Friday nights I haven't been out in years on Friday nights between college football and college basketball.
I was like the last Fridays when I was like, oh, what are you used to just be in there all night. I said, I'm not doing that on Saturday anymore. I write down, again, I got 30 games written down for tomorrow. And that's not even the major conferences. Because those are, I know the major conferences. They're easy enough. They're on TV all the time. Like you said, the old days, Monday was Big Monday on ESPN. You'd get a ACC or Big East. You'd get some kind of double header. Right, it would be a 7 o'clock game, a 9 o'clock game. Then they added a triple at midnight. You'd have a late game, but you had the big conferences play. It was Monday, and it was Big Mondays and Big Tuesdays. I think the Big 12 played on Tuesdays.
And there was right now you got the Pac-10, the SEC, and the Big 12 all playing their games on Wednesday, and and there's the majority of the say the top 25 teams because they're major conferences. And Thursdays, they'll stick one Big Ten game in there, and like tonight, they stuck one game in there with Indiana and UCLA, and I just don't. I understand them not being able to spread out the schedule because they have to be competitive. You can't give one team 2 days rest and another team 6. The disparity would really hurt.
Listen,
but
it worked. It was ACC Big East on Mondays, and I think it was Big 10, Big 12 on Tuesdays.
And there was something Thursday. Friday was Ivy League, and Thursday was always a big night. I think it was Pac-12 would play Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah. And then these. Then everybody's got to get their own channel. It's a Big 12 network.
We got to make adjustments here. And football's not as bad, but in basketball, I seem they gang up on the particular days.
Well, football's easy. It's once a week, maybe twice a week. I know they kind of, here comes Maction on a Tuesday, and we're going to add a Friday night game.
Right.
I get it, but it's still only one game a week. It's not college basketball. We're playing 2 games a week.
Yeah.
And now these conferences, you're hi, I'm UCF, but I got to go play at BYU. Like, what are you talking about?
And it's I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to catch the rhythm of when the conference games are playing. I mean, the Ivies used to play Friday and Saturday, and Pac-12 would be Thursday, and now they're all playing on Wednesday and Saturday. But it's too bunched up for me. I wish they'd spread out a little bit more. It
is. I didn't show last night by having 9 games, but I'm not. I don't even look at some game. I'm not going to look at it. It's like college football. I'm not looking at minus 25 faves. There'll be games I'm not even looking at. I'm going to look at. I'm going to zone in. It's not a conference. It's not like you. I'm going to stop at top 25 and work my way out. I'm going to look at my system there, and then I'll chop off and work from there. I'm not sure. It's a lot. Like I said, it's totally overwhelming sometimes.
It's a lot of very
ridiculous. 160 games. Come on.
Well,
but I don't know. Let's get some comments to get that guy out of here. Well, I didn't do a lot of comments. Let's see. King D's in the house today. Futures. Here we go. Under Rockies. Oh, not loving the Orioles. So that's a cheap team. They could have went to the World Series last year, and they didn't want to trade anybody. And again, King,
they were beating the Yankees.
I under. Can they hit? Can the Yankees hit?
Yankees going to be a little bit better than you think this year. I'm pretty sure of that. Missing Soto, though, that's going to hurt.
The lineup is terrible.
The last 5 years in the major leagues, the leading home run hitter was Aaron Judge, and number 2 was Alonso of the Mets. So New York's got the power hitters. I don't know if they got the pitching, but it's a long season.
I think the Yanks had the pitching. I don't know if they got hitters.
Yeah.
And you're talking one hitter. The rest of the lineup is terrible.
Well, I'm glad they got rid of Torres. I didn't think they could ever win with him. And, he botched the big play game 1 of the World Series. If the Yankees had won game 1, it might have been a whole different scenario.
Jesse wants regulation for sports. I love it. They do that for baseball. Just put them in the minors. Indiana college hoops tonight for Nathan. I don't know. I like UCLA. I think they're going to win that one. Gio's in the house. On tonight, it's the same thing, dude. Nothing. Tonight's games, not loving it. Like UCLA, I like all the dogs basically. A lot of the home dogs. Ninja and Jesse going back. Everyone's on UCLA. Yeah, I like UCLA because of the fact, and Chip, you mentioned it. Their coach is leaving.
Yeah,
they have a huge win on the road in Michigan State while they're like getting ready to unfurl a banner for their coach. Right. Like, look at this, it's the most wins ever, and they lose. Or they lose that game. Indiana wins. Yeah, I think they're going to come back and lay an egg here. I know that UCLA is 3-4 on the road. They've had problems. They got blasted in Maryland. They got blasted in Rutgers. I don't know.
But they play defense.
This is their second game. I don't think they played Illinois, flew back to LA, and came back for this game a day later. I think they're there. They're in the mix. Their time clock's fine on this game. And he got on them for that whole nonsense, and they ran off a bunch of games in a row. I like Cronin. I think he's a good coach. I don't think a lot of people like him. I think he does a good job.
Right, I do too.
Bama first half versus Auburn. It's the game not even going to play. Everyone wants to bet that game because it's going to be on TV. It's 1 versus 2. I'm not interested in that.
I want a final score.
I won't be betting that game. St. John's first half, well, there I'd be yes, because they're just off a loss. You think they want to come out strong at home. So I'm with you on that one. Look at Ninja making jokes about Kendrick Lamar wears women's clothes. $10,000. The pants cost $10,000. Arizona future. I mean, they'll get bounced soon enough. They always have NBA guys, but you a big Arizona guy, Chip?
No, I'm not. I look to play against them more than on them, tell you the truth.
Yeah. Stroman's back to the end. I saw him complaining because they said he's going to be a bullpen guy. He said, "No. I'm not a bullpen guy. I'm not a reliever. I'm a starter."
He's
like,
lucky
you're
he's
the
in the
sixth
big
starter.
leagues.
He's like, "I'm a starter." I know they want to trade him. What are you going to get for him? I don't want to get rid of starting pitchers.
No, pitching's a strong commodity. He had a great first half of the season last year. Certainly tailed off at the end, and then came back as a relief pitcher for the Yankees. He's never really had a full season consistent where he's never done it.
No, he hasn't. But I mean, and that's fine. You're not getting any healthier at 32 or 33, however old you are, Marcus Stroman. Cole's another year older. Fried, I like Max Fried a lot.
Yeah,
the guy gets hurt.
Got to be healthy.
Exactly. Rendon, when he's healthy, he looks good. But again, he's been hurt before. And Clark Schmidt, we're really hanging our hats on Clark Schmidt to be some. Keep the guy. You're going to need somebody's going to get hurt in that rotation.
Yeah, no,
he's shocking. No, it's not shocking when somebody gets hurt.
He was a big surprise last year, and he really did throw well. It wasn't a fluke that he had done so well. I mean, he proved to me, showed me that he's a major league pitcher.
But I'm not looking to get rid of him. I'd be like, you know what? It's April. Let's, I'll do 6-man, extended spring training, something. Make it work. Don't get rid of a starting pitcher you're going to need.
No, I agree.
Somebody's getting hurt in that rotation. It's not a young rotation. It's not much of, this isn't the 84 Mets with like Darling and Sid Fernandez and Doc Gooden who are 20, 21, and 22. These guys are all on the other side of 30.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Let's trade the guy. For who? For bench? You're not getting Arenado for him. Like, I mean, you need a third baseman.
Get a catcher that can hit.
Well, you could have tried Travis Denard, but the Angels got him for you.
Once Posada left, that team has been very weak behind the plate. Defensively, too. I mean, you had the monster they traded to Minnesota. That's absolutely terrible. And
Sanchez. Sanchez.
My favorite.
Listen, we could do a whole Yankee show here, but then we'll really get.
We'll do a week of Yankee shows.
We knew me. I'll be bashing the Yanks.
If you listen to WFAN in New York, the radio station, it is 24 hours Yankees and Mets. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of football, the Knicks, or whatever. They are a baseball town, and they talk baseball on the radio continuously.
I would call in all the time. I called in Mike and the Mad Dog. I do Steve Summers at night. I'd call in too.
Steve Summers was great. He was my favorite.
I love the Smooths. He was fabulous.
Yeah.
I called in, I guess it was like 93, 94 when the Mets had like Rico Bronya, and he was like big first baseman for me. And he'd play Rico Suave. There was a song back. Did you remember the song? It was Rico Suave. I don't want to start singing it, but
please don't.
Yes, no. All right, let's get out of here, Chip.
All right.
Listen, folks, like, subscribe, notification bells on here when we do our free picks at Winner Circle YouTube channel, gamblersworld.net for all the premium action. Chip, myself, Doug, Matt Fargo, Brian Biller. We got 13 cappers for you to choose from. We got a leaderboard. Go get it. Bonus for you on Monday, 20% off any premium package. Any package, 3, 7, 30 day, which are guaranteed, by the way. Get 20% off. Make that smart money move. Get on board. College hoops for everybody tomorrow since we only got some NBA All-Star game going and no hockey for a while. So it's college hoops till Wednesday. And then we have a lone NBA game going. I know Chip's going to do it himself with no NBA. Guys, gonna have to. He'll be pacing outside the circle.
I'm glad we have a break here. I really am.
I'd say you'd be pulling your hair out, but you don't want to do that for 7 days. You'd be bald.
No.
You don't want to pull out what you got left.
I'm close to that right now, believe me.
All right, Chip, good seeing you. Everybody, thanks for popping in. Good luck in your bets this weekend. Take it easy. See you Monday with Chip and Doug for some no NBA, college basketball on Monday. Good luck, everybody.